Join me as we build a very detailed habitat for the giraffes and the zebras with a special platform that allows the guests to feed the animals and also very detailed shelter with the backstage area. Hello guys, this is Cesar Creates and welcome back to my channel. I am back with another Planet Zoo video and this time we'll build a new habitat in our desert adventure park. And this habitat that we are building here right now is for the reticulated giraffe and the plains zebra. We are currently building an African section in this park, in this zoo, so we are adding more and more African animals. And what African section would be complete without the giraffes and the zebras? I actually had this enclosure planned in this exact spot for quite some time and I am glad that we are finally able to build it, but it was certainly a lot of work. That's why this video is a bit delayed. If you guys saw it, I posted several days ago on my community tab here on YouTube and also on social media that the next Planet Zoo video will be slightly delayed, and this is just because this habitat was so huge and so complex that it took me more than a week, I think, to build. Yeah, quite a lot of time. I'm usually able to complete one habitat in like 3 or 4 days, but this habitat was so large that it wasn't possible. But as I also told you guys in those posts, I think that this might be my best or one of the best habitats that I ever built. I had this clear vision. I knew what I wanted to build here, and I think that my idea just came out just exactly the way I wanted. So yeah, I really love the habitat and I really love the whole idea about it. So let's talk more about this. But before that, I just wanted to quickly address the Elm Hill City Zoo. It is obviously not going anywhere. I just thought that I just wanted to build something cool in the Desert Adventure Park and take a small break from building for the Grasslands animal, from the Grasslands animal pack. So that's why I decided to build this habitat and will be back adding more and more Grasslands animal in the near future to the Elm Hill City Zoo. I think that I will add now the red-necked wallaby to the zoo, so if you are waiting for that, definitely stay tuned. It should be out pretty soon. So, as you guys probably know, because I've talked about it a million times, the giraffe is absolutely my favorite animal. That's why it is in my logo. I love it so much. And every time I build for the giraffe, I try to give them something special, just as we did in the Elm Hill City Zoo when I built a habitat for it to celebrate 10,000 subscribers. By the way, we are close to 14,000 subscribers right now. So if you haven't still subscribed, what are you even doing? It is totally free and it really helps me out. So if you like to do it and if you like to support the channel a little bit, please consider clicking that subscribe button down below. But coming back, I really wanted to build something really nice for those giraffes. And as you guys know, this entire zoo and the idea for the villages and so on is inspired by my visit to the Dubai Safari Park quite a long time ago already. So in there, I remember that they had this special feature or special experience of feeding the giraffes. It was on several times. You could just go to this special vending machine, buy food for the giraffe and go to this special platform, and then you were able to feed them. This was amazing. I really loved it and I really wanted to build something like that in Planet Zoo. I still didn't build anything like that, I think, on the channel, a bit more interactive for the guests to interact a bit more with the animals. So at the beginning of the video you could see this simple construction with 2 plaster pieces and a little with a little wooden fence for the guests. And this was there because before I started to record this video, I actually measured the height of the giraffe in Planet Zoo to make this platform, you know, at the proper height, so the guests will be actually able to feed the giraffes if they go close to this platform that we will add shortly in here. We'll also build a vending machine. It will be like just covering like a normal vending machine with the food in the game, so the guests will be still able to use it, just we can pretend that they are not buying food for themselves, they are just buying food for the giraffes. So we'll also build that, and of course we'll build the entire habitat, and we'll also build a shelter, and I will show you guys a bit of building like an indoor part of the shelter. So some night quarters will build like those inside fences, inside barriers, but also there will be some stuff that I won't show you guys in the video, like building the holding areas like behind the shelter and so on, but you'll see it in the cinematics by the end of this video. This is simply because if I were to show you guys all the process of building this habitat, this video, even the speed build, will be probably like 1.5 hours or something, because it really took me so much time. So you will see a lot of like cutting in this video, like I had to cut out several like sections. Often I will just show you how I begin to do stuff, like I don't know, some barriers, some walls, or foliage, or rocks or something. I am sure you guys will be able to get what I did there without watching the whole thing, and because of that I was able to make this video much shorter. So right now, as you guys can see, I'm working on the platform where the guests will go and feed the giraffes. It will be opened and closed at the certain times when there will be a keeper that will be assisting the guests. So you will see how I will do it later. We'll also add a little like billboard with the information about the feeding times, and we'll build like barriers for the guests and stuff. I will explain everything once it will be there. But let's talk more about the inspiration behind this habitat. So of course I wanted to make it cohesive with the rest of the park. We have a lot of like moats in here, we have a lot of those wooden fences for the guests, so I definitely wanted to continue with that. I added tons of plants at the front of the habitat. They are all like low plants, so the guests will still have a really nice view inside of this habitat. I will later add like an electric fence, my like custom one, next to this like wall that we have in the front of the habitat, so that it will prevent the giraffes from going too close to this wall and eating the plants that are there. So yeah, I thought about every detail of this habitat, and this is probably why it took me so long. The general idea of this habitat, I mean the walls around it that you'll see later, the foliage and so on, is definitely not the inspired by Dubai. The giraffe enclosure there was so plain and boring that I didn't want to repeat that. The entire habitat is actually inspired by 3 different things, or different places, or however you want to call it. Firstly, it is the biopark in Valencia in Spain. Obviously this is one of the best zoos that I've seen. Like I've seen it only on the photos online. It looks so amazing. I really want to visit it one day, and they have really cool giraffe enclosure that is actually mixed with different species of animals, also with zebras, and they have a lot of those rock formations in the habitat. The habitat is surprisingly a very green one, so that's why I decided to add some plants here as well. The second inspiration was definitely a Barcelona zoo and their giraffe habitat. This habitat I actually saw myself, and I thought it is so nice and beautiful, also surrounded by by different rock formations, and they have this like really cool shelter that our shelter here is a bit inspired by. I'll talk more about this when we'll start building it, but the rock formations around the habitat are definitely inspired by Barcelona Zoo. I just love that. This is just something different when it comes to the habitat for giraffes or zebras or any other like African ungulates. We more likely see normal fences. We don't see those rock formations for those kinds of animals. We see them for example, I don't know, big cats or monkeys or apes or different mammals, but not ungulates. They definitely get like those more boring fences in zoos. So I decided that adding something like this would be so nice and interesting, and I am really happy with how it has turned out. And the third and final inspiration is actually not a real zoo. It is a series here on YouTube by one of my favorite creators, Leaf. His Sonora Springs Zoo is so nice and so beautiful. I just love this series so much. So yeah, I definitely took some inspiration from the zoo. Definitely I wanted to mimic a bit the rock formations from the stalagmite that Leaf is using in his series. I just love the Sonora Springs Zoo so much. The whole vibe, the whole like general look of the zoo is so like beautiful to me. So congratulations Leaf on this beautiful series. I must say that I am a huge fan, and if you are not watching it, what are you even doing? I really recommend that. I was able to learn so much from watching it, and I definitely wanted to build something inspired by the Sonora Springs Zoo. And I hope if you by any chance like watch this series of Leaf, you will see something inspired by it here in this habitat. And the funny thing is that Leaf actually uploaded his giraffe, zebra, and the blue wildebeest enclosure, I think, like a couple of days ago. I don't know, 2 or 3 days ago. So yeah, I was working on mine. I was just editing the video, I think, when I saw it going live. So I was like, oh, we will have pretty similar videos like coming one after another. I guess like the great minds think alike. I think that this is this like official saying in English, but yeah, I am hopeful you guys are not, you know, tired of too many giraffe and zebra habitats on YouTube right now. And when we are on the topic of different like content creators and their series and so on, I would really love to share with you guys some of the series and content creators that I really love and enjoy watching right now. So I will definitely talk more about this in this video later. Let me just firstly describe what we are building here today, because I would definitely would like to give some shout outs to the people that I love, and this longer video I think is a perfect opportunity to do so. Okay guys, so as you could see, I am basically done now with this like feeding platform slash viewing platform, however you want to call it. As you could see, I added there sort of like a double fencing in there. So the first fence that is like outside is covered with those like rope coils. This is what I took from the Dubai Safari Park. I guess that they are wrapping those like ropes around the fence just to prevent the giraffes from scratching their necks or, you know, prevent any injuries. So I thought this is a really nice detail and I really wanted to add it. The first fence is sort of like for the guests, so they don't come too close to the giraffes. The giraffes can only like take the food from there, but they cannot like poke them with their head or like, you know, hit them, or those are really strong animals. So I think we should like be very careful with that. And also it is a perfect place for a keeper of the or the educator to go inside of those two fences and, you know, talk about the animals or just give some instructions to the guests how they should feed the giraffes. You could see me at first building this platform with the wood from the conservation pack, but later on I decided that the Twilight pack wood is so much nicer when it comes to the texture. It sort of looks like it's worn out a bit older, so I thought it is perfect for a platform like that will be like, you know, stepped on, stomped on by the guests, so over time it will get a bit more like dusted and so on. So I must really say that the Twilight wood is one of my favorite textures in the game right now. I think it looks so amazing, so I love to use it every time I can. Then you could see me doing all those rock formations around the habitat. And what I did here, I used, of course, again, my Habitat Essentials blueprint from the Steam Workshop and used this like rock formations from the stalagmite that I created for the wombats. If you have a good eye, I'm sure that you noticed that this is taken out of the wombat habitat from the Elm Hill City Zoo, and I sort of like split it into different like smaller groups, and I added different stalagmites, those bigger ones, to it to add some textures to them. And also I added those tree trunks from the aquatic pack. This is what we used to create walls like that in the past. Right now we are using the stalagmites, and I think that they look so much nicer, but combined with those tree trunks, I think they look super cool. And this is what I took from Leaf. I think that he's like those rock formations from the stalagmites look so good, so I wanted to build something like similar, and yeah, I hope that you guys like it. I certainly do. I think that those rock formations right now have so much more textures, and it looks so much more interesting that yeah, I must say that I love it. This is probably my favorite like detail about this habitat. And when it comes to those rock formations from the stalagmite pieces, it is so cool to see everyone using them right now. I don't mean to be like, I don't know, boasting right now or anything like that, but I like to think that I was one of the first like persons to use those pieces this way, and yeah, because I basically did it in the early access for the Twilight pack when I created my bat enclosure, and right now like I saw so many people using the stalagmites this way. I know that it wasn't like too hard to think about this, but I just like to think in my head that I started a little trend in here. Maybe I'm just a bit too confident right now, but yeah, think of me as a stalagmite influencer or something like that. Okay, so after I was done with those huge walls, I added some foliage on top of them to make them look nice, to make it look like the habitat is just a huge canyon, like lowered into the ground, and the foliage, like plants are growing around it. I added some enrichment items. I also did some terraforming, so it's not so flat in there. I painted the terrain a bit. I also added a little like water section for the animals to drink. It looks so cool when the giraffes and the zebras are drinking from it. And what I also did was add like those smaller rock formations and rock piles using both the temperate rocks. This is what I just simply, I don't know, discovered that I really like doing while building my maned wolf habitat. I think I created those like piles of the temperate rocks and threw them in different parts of the habitat, and I really loved it, so we are doing it this time as well. And I also used the stalagmite pieces to create some of those smaller rock formations and those rock piles. I'll of course surround them with those tiny little rocks that I like to use, and that way they look even better. And later on I will add tons of different grasses, because there will be mainly grasses, some other plants as well, over and on those rock formations, so they look like they're a bit overgrown. And I think that this is a place where the grass could potentially grow, because the animals won't be like stomping on it or just eating it, because it will be a bit harder for them to access it. Also, we'll make sure to do those like pacing trays around this habitat, so you can clearly see where are the paths that animals are moving around the habitat. I thought it's really realistic to do so, because this is normally what you see in zoos. I also added some taller trees that have the branches high enough so the giraffes won't be able to reach them, and I also added those tree guards. I created my custom ones for this habitat, so they are also high enough so the giraffes won't be able to rub themselves against the trees or just eat the tree bark or simply destroy the trees. So I thought that this is important. This is what I saw in basically all the giraffe habitats. So yeah, this is basically all when it comes to the outside part of the habitat. I'll also add some different details, such as different dead trees for some texture. I will add decals, of course, to the floor of the entire habitat for, again, a bit more texture so it looks more interesting. This is actually the first time that I am building for the zebras, which is quite crazy, because the zebras are really iconic zoo animals. I obviously love them. I love them being combined with giraffes. I think that this is very common thing for zoos to mix those guys together. I think that they look pretty cool in the game, even though they are a base game animal. They definitely did a really nice job creating a zebra. I wish that we had some other types of zebras, like species, subspecies, and so on, because there's, for example, my favorite species of zebra, the gravy zebra. I think it's so stunning. It has those large ears and this really beautiful pattern, really nice colors, and this really nice shape of the hat. So I really wish we could have it in the game. It's quite often kept in zoos, so yeah, really nice animal. The only thing that I don't like about the in-game zebras is that they all have the same pattern. I mean, there are no two same zebras in the world. They all have different patterns of the stripes. They all look different. Yeah, that's a pity that they didn't include that, but I am really hopeful after we got the blue wildebeest that right now we'll get a different species of zebra or a different species of giraffe, because there are some really beautiful giraffes out there. For example, the Maasai giraffe or the Angolan giraffe. So it will be so nice to have this bit more of a variety in our African sections in the zoos. So right now, as you guys can see, I'm working on this vending machine that I told you about. This will be a place where the guests will be able to buy the giraffe foods to go to this platform and feed the giraffes. This is very inspired by the Dubai Safari Park. They also had something like this. I will later on move this vending machine because I thought that it is a bit blocking the view to the habitat, so it will be on the other side of the path. But I really like this detail. I must say that I really love how it has turned out. And yeah, one thing that I forgot to mention are the blueprints. You could already see me using the those shades, those sails or something by leader. There will be some of the blueprints in the holding area on the backstage of the building. So I will list all of the blueprints that I used here in the description of the video. So if you like to use something that I use in here, you definitely can download them from the workshop. Those sails are so amazing. They are done with the small font pieces. They are also completely recolorable, so it's so cool to use them, especially in those warmer climates, like in the desert, to give your guests some shade. We have something like this in the game, but they are much smaller and they have this pattern. So yeah, the ones made by Leader are just large. You can use them everywhere. And yeah, thank you, Leader, for uploading them, because without it, I wouldn't be able to build this platform and give my guests some shade. I will also add a little chain fence in there, so the platform can be opened and closed when the feeding times are on, simply, so the keeper can go there, open this platform, and then the guests will have the access to it. This is such a nice little detail, but I think it looks so cool. Okay, and after we'll be done with that, I will simply be done with the outdoor part of the enclosure about with all the guest facilities and so on, and I'll start building the shelter. The shelter is inspired by Barcelona Zoo, like really much, but the general look of the facade I had to change because the facade of the Barcelona Zoo shelter for the giraffe is so like wonky. It has like this really interesting shape, like I don't know, they use those logs in different like angles and so on. You can go and Google for the giraffe habitat in Barcelona Zoo and you will see what I am talking about. And I quite frankly didn't want to do it because I was a bit afraid of the piece count at first, and then I thought it was so much work to make it look so unique and also in this like circular shape. So I decided to go for those conservation slat pieces, and I think that it looks so amazing and it really like suits this like desert vibe of this entire zoo. So yeah, the entire shelter will be in this like oval shape and it will be surrounded with those like slat pieces, and I think it looks really cool. It will have this like really nice entrance to it for the animals that is totally inspired by Barcelona Zoo, and also we'll do some of the interior which is also inspired by that zoo. I was able to find some pictures online and I recreated some parts of it, just like those night quarters, and also a really cool thing for the staff. So they have this like balcony that they can go and they are basically eye to eye with the giraffes, so they can feed them, they can simply check on them, check their health, or just interact with them. So it is really cool. And also we'll have some staff rooms in there. We'll have different feeders for the animals. This shelter was really a lot of work. I really thought about the ventilation, about the lighting in there, about simply how it will work, how the doors will be opening and closing, how the animals will use it. I just had so much work with it, so I hope you guys will like it. And now let's talk about the thing that I told you guys. So let's talk about other content creators who I watch, who I like, who I really recommend, and who I like to give a little shout out to. I really hope that I won't forget anyone, because there are so many people at this point who are like creating those videos, who are really nice people, who I really like talking to, who I really like interacting with, and who make some mind-blowing stuff in this game. So I hope that I will be able to mention everyone. If by any chance I will forget about someone that you really enjoy, please make sure to mention them in the comment section so I can give my shoutouts in some other video. But yeah, those are the creators that I watch. I'll try to be quick because we don't have too much time in the video, and I most certainly could talk like for hours about those people because I really enjoy my Planet Zoo community. But yeah, the first person that I really want to mention, and I already did, is Leaf. I love his videos. I think he's really entertaining. He also is really supportive when it comes to everyone in the community, so this is really lovely. And I think he has some amazing ideas for the videos. I love that he creates the zoos around the new packs that we are given in Planet Zoo, so this is so cool and amazing to see. Yes, a really amazing creator. If you are not following him or subscribe to his channel, you are definitely missing out. Of course, I had to mention here the lady designer, who is simply amazing. I really enjoy her videos. She's definitely one of the reasons why I started here on YouTube. I was really inspired by her, and I really like her franchise series here on YouTube. I think she does such an amazing job with them. I mean, both being entertaining, I know, showing us different aspects of the game, and also creating those really cool enclosures in the franchise mode. So yeah, I really enjoy watching her videos, especially the franchise series. I think she just kills it. Then we have, of course, another big one, the Rudy Wren Camel. Another bigger creator who has this like new series on his channel, the Sicily Zoo, that I really love. I must say that this is such a nice idea, such a creative idea for a zoo, like located in this like Mediterranean environment with a really beautiful color palette that he's using in this zoo. So yeah, really cool series. You should definitely check it out because I simply love it. It's super inspiring to me. Of course, I need to give a huge shout out to Leader and Zoof, who I am creating our Valby City Zoo with. Those are the creators who really like shaped my building style. I really love their creations. They are some of the best you'll see in the game, so definitely check out their stuff that is available here on YouTube. Then we of course have Simply Savannah, who I enjoyed from the very beginning of Planet Zoo YouTube videos and so on. I really like her voiceovers. I think she's again re-entertaining. I love her facts about the animals. She actually like inspired me to share with you guys those fun facts in my videos. I don't do it quite as often as I did, but sometimes I still do. And she has this like really fun series, River Rock Zoo, that I was a fan of, but now she's making it even better because she's going back to the zoo and remodeling different parts of it, like showing off her new skills of building, like using the new pieces that we got in the game. So I think it's so interesting to see how much she was able to improve and grow as a creator, and also how many different new pieces we got that really can improve your builds. If you are looking for realistic builds, I really need to recommend the St. Reginald Zoo by 3 incredible creators, Eben, Wyatt, and Goran. I wish I could use the pieces in the game like they do one day, because the stuff that they create is just mind-blowing, and I really like that this is a collaboration, so everyone is bringing something into that zoo, and it is such a beautiful and realistic project. So if you are looking for something like that, I definitely recommend to watch it. When it comes to the realistic builds, I of course need to mention Dan XG. I really am a huge fan of his Tropical Wings Zoo. I think that this is one of the most realistic projects here on YouTube. I really am inspired by it every time I watch it. If you are looking for a realistic city zoo located in Europe, I think that this is one of the best projects that you can watch on YouTube right now. He also gives me tons of shoutouts in his videos, so I think it's so nice. And of course, I would love to return the favor. Dan XG is really an amazing creator, so you should watch him definitely 100%. Oh god, I told you that I can talk about it forever because I am really fan of those guys who like do those videos. I am watching all of them, so I have a really long list of my favorites. So let's continue. Another really wonderful creator who I really enjoy is the ZSH Plays, who recently started his new franchise series. I must say that I really love the editing style that he has. I really love his voiceover, his general idea for this series, that it is sort of like a slow build, like combined with a really cool commentary. I also love his Planet Zoo Wild series, where he creates those like really realistic landscapes in different biomes, so you can use them as your maps, or you can use them to I don't know, release the animals in there and pretend that they are just natural environments. This is so amazing. Really nice creator with a lot of passion, I think, for creating those videos, so I really love to see that. Okay, 4 more people to mention, more, and I think we'll be able to make it. Another person is, of course, Tove's Place. I really liked his videos. I think that, I don't know, there's something cozy about his videos. They are really nice to watch. I really like his creations. I think he has some really amazing ideas. I also really enjoy his voiceovers. There's something about his accent that I really enjoy. So if you are, again, looking for something more realistic and very detailed, like oriented, definitely check out Toves. And also check out Thrive. Thrive is a really nice content creator and really nice person. I really enjoy all of his videos. I think his smaller projects, just like this crepuscular animal house or the recent armadillo exhibits, are so amazing and inspiring, where, you know, the eye for details is just amazing. He also does those really cool what's next for Planet Zoo videos, what animals we should get in a game, and so on. So yeah, I really enjoy it. And two smaller creators that I would like to give my shoutouts to are Bacon Play, who is again a really nice person, and who has again a great passion for Planet Zoo, and he records mostly in German, but I can kind of understand some words. I still watch some of his videos, and I think that they are really nice. And also Bova Builds, who is a newer creator who does a lot of live streams, which I really am admiring, because live streaming at the beginning of your YouTube career is very impressive, and his builds are really nice. He's just starting, so give him some time, and I'm sure that he'll be so incredible and mind-blowing. And he's also a really nice person. Everyone is in this community. We are so nice. I hope that they are saying this also about me, by the way. But yeah, this was all when it comes to the creators that I like and I'd like to give some shoutouts to. If again someone is missing on this list, definitely give them some shoutouts in the comment section. Okay guys, so this is all that I have for you in today's video. Stay tuned till the end, because there'll be some longer cinematic shots right now where I will show you the entire habitat and also the shelter and all the backstage stuff and so on. I hope you enjoyed this video, because it was so much work. If you did enjoy it, please consider to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Give this video a big thumbs up. Ring the bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video, and of course comment down below what you liked about the habitat. Also, if you like to support the channel a little bit extra, you can do it with the join button down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!